I just want fighters that will get me closer to the belt. I don't want to fight somebody that I'll just beat and and I stay in the same spot. I want to be somebody that will get me way closer to the belt.
Coming off a huge win at UFC 306, Noche UFC kicked off as the first ever fight at the Sphere. Another big win for him. He is the master of the Chihuahua. I can't do it as good as him, but I try. Raul Rosas Jr. Raul, how are you?
Doing good. How are you?
I'm fantastic, man. Thank you for taking a little time to chat with me. Obviously, congratulations on a huge win, man. Obviously, a huge platform for you. How was it fighting in the Sphere?
It felt like, well, obviously, it was a crazy experience, unique. It was a lot of feelings after the fight because I knew I just had made history in a way, and then but it did feel different because the fact that usually the cage is in the middle, so I hear noise from everywhere, and now when the noise was just coming from one side, it uh it felt more like the apex to me. At the moment because the noise was all like on one side. So, but it was dope. It was dope.
Now because you were fighting early, it looked like the Sphere was, pretty filled up, which usually doesn't happen for the first prelim. You could have easily been on the main card. Were you happy or were you okay being the opening fight of the night just because it is kind of a cool honor to be the first guy to open the card, or would you have preferred to be on the main card?
This one I was okay with it because I made history being the first fighter to ever get my hand raised in the Sphere, and the youngest, and then also because it doesn't matter to me anywhere I'm in the card. The people are gonna tune in regardless. So like you saw, uh, the Sphere was already packed with me with the first fight. And that usually does not happen. So the people that are gonna tune in regardless whether I'm the main event, I'm the first prelim, I'm in the middle, they're gonna tune in to watch me fight and watch me perform. So I'm always ready to go out there, do what I love, and put on a show for those who love to watch me fight.
Absolutely. Now I know we talked, I think it was like maybe like 2 weeks before you actually got the fight announced and you were basically pushing to get on this card. And we know how big it was being Noche UFC, being Mexican Independence Day. And listen, from the day you arrived in the UFC, Raul, you've had pressure on you. You were 18 years old, youngest guy, all these kind of things. You all knew that from the day you stepped into that octagon for the first time. But how did it feel, going in there knowing that, listen, the world was watching, the spotlight was on you? Did you feel that pressure? Did you embrace it? How did it feel? Because this was a special event.
I embrace it, to be honest. I feel no pressure. Like I said, because I'm doing what I love. Uh, like I already have a lot of things. I'm already in a good spot. Being here at 19, at the highest level, winning these fights. So I don't care. I don't care what people say, what people think. So I have no pressure on me. It feels normal to me.
Yeah.
So yeah.
You had a tough opponent in Arichi Long. Ended up going to decision. I know you love to go out there and get to finish. Can I just get your assessment? How do you think the fight played out?
Good. I knew he was gonna be tough. Obviously, he has 25 wins, 11 losses, so that's a lot of experience. So I knew he was gonna be calm, but I knew I was gonna get the job done. I knew I the perfect game plan to keep distance and stay relaxed in there because I knew how experienced he was. So I just showed my experience as well. And I wish I would have got the finish, but he defended good when I got to his back. He stayed relaxed. So yeah, I knew he was gonna be tough, and you know, yeah, I'm glad with I'm okay with my performance though. You know. And I'm
Yeah.
glad
I
I got
mean,
the experience of 3 rounds because I know the competition is gonna get tougher. So in a way, I'm glad that I have that experience under my belt right now.
yeah, I mean, let's be honest. A lot of guys would not have made it out of that first round. When you took his back, I think a lot of people thought it was over. Credit to him for finding a way to survive, right?
Yeah, yeah. Credit to him for because he stayed relaxed and he was able to defend pretty good.
So you go out there and you know you perform, you get the win. Does this one feel different? I mean, you've had this is again 5 fights in the UFC. Does this one still feel different just because of the moment, because of the stage, or have you kind of gotten to the point where you're like everything you wanted to kind of feel the same, like you just go out there and win and do your thing? Because again, like I said, this event was so different with the screens and the Mexican Independence Day. Did this one feel different after a win in this one versus like let's say your last fight where you went out and finished Ricky Turcios?
Yeah, it felt different, much better because the stage, winning inside the Spears. Like I said, I was the first ever to ever get my hand raised. So that one was special for sure. And yeah, I had a lot of emotions because I'm only 19. I was able to perform on a big stage like that, and the way I performed, and then getting my hand raised. So I was really happy with that.
Now I gotta ask you, Earl, afterwards, we've gotten so used to you having these incredible post-fight interviews. Of course, we all love the your catchphrase now, which is everywhere. You even have a clothing line now, which I see, by the way, the Chewiwi's clothing line, which is awesome. But I know right afterwards when they came up to interview you, Joe Rogan interviewed you. You mentioned a bonus. Now a lot of people were saying a bonus, like it was it went to decision, not a finish. Was that just heat of the moment, or can you explain to me? Because I know a lot of people were asking, like, why did you ask for the bonus in that moment?
It was just the heat in the moment, like since I'm used to like getting finishes and uh asking for it after, it was just like it just came out. But either way, the way that my argument to say that I would deserve it, like don't get me wrong, like it was a unanimous decision. So obviously I'm okay with not getting it because I should have got a finish. But if I would have gotten, my argument would be that the people showed up because of me. The event was packed because of me. Like I'm saying, because they were there since early because I was on the prelims. Like I'm not trying to be cocky, but a lot of people tune in to watch me fight. So with them putting me on the first fight of the prelims, I made a lot of people show up and tune in on their TVs right away. So that would be my argument for the 50 Gs. But obviously, I agree. I didn't do enough to get those 50 Gs.
Yeah, but I mean, you're right though. I mean, let's be honest. There's a reason why you were the first fight because there. And I'm not knocking anybody else in the card. They could have put a lot of the other fights as the first fight, and it wouldn't have had the same impact. Like I said, you could have easily been on the main card. You could have easily kicked off the main card on the pay per view. But I think they put you on there for a reason to make sure people were going to pack into the sphere before that they wanted the place filled from day one, from minute one, and I think that's a big reason why you were the first fight of the night.
Correct. Yeah, I think it was strategy, but at the same time, I'm not mad because I love everybody on the card. I love. So I'm glad that they got their spotlight. They got to be on the main card. They got to be upper than me. Everybody's so cool. Everybody on that card is so cool. I respect everybody. Um, they're all representing Mexico, so there's no animosity like towards anybody or towards the UFC or nothing. We all got like our spotlight.
Yeah. Now you said afterwards that you do want to sit down with Dana White and have a conversation. I realize you're 5 fights into your career, and obviously you've already gotten a lot of star power, a lot of interest in your fights. When you say you want to sit down with Dana and talk numbers, are we talking contract numbers? Are we talking ranking numbers? What kind of numbers are we talking about?
Both, both, both. We sit down and see what's next and talk numbers and yeah, like pretty much we see what's next. I feel like I bring a lot of people, and I feel like uh, I deserve an opportunity to test myself.
Yeah, and listen, I'm not gonna I don't get into like money or anything contract wise, but can I ask like can I ask where you're at in your contract, like how many fights you have left? Do you know?
Uh, I think I have two left. I'm not too sure. I think I have
Okay.
two left though, if I'm correct.
Yeah. But I mean, listen, there's different levels for different people when you get a certain level of stardom. I mean, I think, you're at a place now where you can renegotiate. And I'm not saying, I don't think you're sitting there saying, make me the richest guy in the UFC, but you do demand a crowd. You bring a lot of people in to watch you. I think that, that comes along with compensation, right? Like that's just like any job.
Yeah, yeah. So I think uh, I'll get it, but we'll see. We'll see what's next. Either way, my time will come. So it's all good.
Yeah. I imagine that you do have, I mean, do you feel like you do have a good relationship with the UFC? I mean, I know Dana has always spoken very well about you ever since you came up with the Contender series. When you say things like that, you're like, oh man, is he mad at the UFC? Is he upset at the UFC? I don't think it's that, is it? You're not like upset at the UFC.
No, no. Everybody's it's good to work with them, and they've been so good with me. They've been like we've all we're all like on the same page. We're all like good. Um, everything's fine. Everything's perfect. So, like I said, I'm happy with my contract. I'm happy with like obviously we all want more. So I feel like I deserve more, but I'm happy with it. I'm happy with it. So yeah, there's no problem.
Yeah. Now you mentioned in terms of your next fight, wanting to get in that top 15 rank because you didn't mention a name, off top of your head, but do you feel like where you're at right now, that's where you need to be in terms of like your next fight? Like it needs to be a top 15 opponent? Because I know we talked beforehand and you said you wanted a top 15 opponent, but at that point you're just like, give me anybody because I want to be on the Sphere card. I want to be at UFC 306. But after going out there and beating another guy like this, is that where your head's at, where it feels like it is now time for a top 15 opponent?
I think so, but with if I would have went out there and got the finish, I would have for sure had a good argument to get a top 15. I want a top 15, but um, if my next fight is not against a top 15 fighter, I want somebody that they'll be like, okay, that the UFC will be like, okay, if you beat this guy, we'll give you a rank opponent next. But either way, I want to be that close. I just want fighters that will get me closer to the belt. I don't want to fight somebody that I'll just beat and I stay in the same spot. I want to be somebody that will get me way closer to the belt.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, listen, that's the goal. And I mean, at 19, you still got a lot of time to get closer to that all-time record of breaking the youngest UFC champion record. So you got some time. But when you get on these win streaks, you get on these builds, you want to build, whether you're getting the number 15 guy, the number 14 guy, you want to build blocks to get to where you eventually want to go, which, as you said, is the championship, right? Like that's whether it's the top 15 or not, just a guy that's ahead of you, so to speak, that you can get a step from, right? Or a veteran, a good veteran.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's the ultimate goal. So regardless, I'm still getting more experience. Every fight, I'm getting better and better. So, like this fight, I took it like as a way to get more experience. Because it was a step up in competition. She was the best fighter that I've fought so far. Because he was like a veteran to me, and he was able to stay relaxed. He had power on his hands, good takedown defense. Um, so it was a step up in competition, but the right step up. So if I get another fight like that, like the right step up, then I'll take it.
Yeah. Can I ask, coming out of that fight, are you healthy and do you have a general idea when you'd like to fight again? We're in September. I know there's some big cards still to come in 2024, or you could easily just dip into 2025. So do you have a general idea when you'd like to fight again, and are you healthy?
I'm not 100% healthy. I have a few injuries. From the fight, I injured my knee a little bit. It's getting better. Um, but I have injuries before the fight, so and they're still messed up. So I'm gonna try to heal those up, and then once I get healed up, I'll book a fight because I do want to fight in December. But if I book it right now, I don't want to risk to have to pull out because I don't recover. So I want to make sure I recover 100%, and then I'll book a fight.
Yeah, I mean, you'd almost have to get back into camp in the next couple of weeks, right? Because December's not that far away.
Yeah, well, yeah, I'm already training. I'm already in camp because I think I have a big grappling match coming up, a big name. Uh, but obviously I can't really say yet because nothing's signed, nothing's confirmed yet. But I got the offer. I said yes. So we'll see. We'll see if it goes through, and that'll happen October 26th.
Very cool, very cool. But as far as the injuries go, it's nothing too serious. It's nothing like surgery or anything like that.
Nah, it's just like fractures type of thing, you know.
Yeah. So, but I mean, listen, every time you fight, it's going to be a big deal, and it feels like it's got to be a big card. Now, we're looking at the end of the year. You're looking at December 7th as the last pay per view of the year, but I know there's going to be a lot of things coming up in January, February. So again, I imagine it's always about the right time and the right opportunity, right?
Yeah, I'll say I'll be honest. I don't want to fight January, February, or March. So if I do get one in, I want it to be uh this year or a little bit after like March because I want to be able to enjoy Christmas. Last year I didn't get to enjoy it because I had a fight in February, so I had to train all December, January. Even though like the fight didn't happen because I got sick the day of the fight, but I have been training since December, and I'm not gonna lie, it kind of sucked. But so this year I want to enjoy Christmas.
Enjoy the holidays. Enjoy some food. You get up to where you're fighting at lightweight after Christmas, right?
Correct, yeah.
And
So
I
yeah.
saw and I saw a lot of people talking. I think I saw they said like I believe they said there's a new arena being built down in Mexico right now, and I know that was a big deal for you last year when you got sick. I think going back down and headlining a card in Mexico, or at least co-main event of a big card in Mexico next year, I think that'd be a great idea. I'm sure you'd love to kind of revisit that after what happened last year, what happened earlier this year.
Yeah, it's still a dream of mine to fight specifically in Mexico City, but you know, I believe a lot in God and it's God's plan, so things happen for a reason. Maybe that it wasn't my day, but I do think the possibility of me losing that night, the way I felt, were very high because I was getting busy like if I was rocked, like just moving around. So that's why I didn't go out there. But things happen for a reason, and I think I'll be back to either headline or at least be on the card.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, listen, man, like I said, it was great win, great performance, great opportunity for you to be out there in the sphere, get a win at UFC 306 at Noche UFC. Hopefully this grappling match happens in October. And again, we'd love to see you back in December, but you've had a very busy year when you look at it, when you consider, you went through February, you got sick, you rebooked the fight and all that, and then coming out with this fight. So I think if you don't fight till sometime in 2025, I think that'd be okay. I think the last thing you want to do is go in there if you're, too beat up or too injured. You certainly don't want to do that and risk a loss, just like what happened in February. You don't want to go out there and risk a loss and do that either. So get healthy, and enjoy the holidays, man. Enjoy some good food, right? Like you got to enjoy some good food around the holidays.
Yeah, I have to, especially like I like going to Mexico because all my family's out there for the holidays. But obviously, if I have a fight, I can't travel. I have to stay in camp. So I want to be able to go like in a way go crazy with the food and all that stuff. So I want to have some fun.
When you go to Mexico, what's your favorite food? What's the one thing you can't wait to get when you go down there to get food?
Um, there's this spot that they have nice like birria in Mexico City. Uh, they have a lot of good stuff. My grandma cooks a lot of good stuff like tamales and stuff. So that's like the type of food that I can't wait to have.
I discovered burrito when I was in San Diego a couple years ago, and now I'm obsessed with it. It's like my favorite thing. Burrito is like the best thing ever.
Oh yeah, then here in USA they have this thing called super burrito. Super burrito. They have rice, beans, meat, guacamole, all that stuff. That's inspired.
I love it. I love it. Well, Raul, again, congratulations on the win, man. Another incredible victory. Enjoy a little downtime. And like I said, hopefully we see you again this year, but if not, we'll see you next year. Enjoy the holidays, of course, if not. And, man, I love what you're doing, and keep up the good work, and let's definitely catch up again in the future.
Thank you.